Brothers and sisters, could you imagine that the Prime Minister, in his own word, referred to the wanton disregard and neglect for the job that we were elected to do? I was like, really? Is this man for real? Because I say to you tonight, if there's anybody that has neglected their job since July 2022, it would be the Prime Minister of this country.
So you're getting their $5,000 a month and they're not coming to work. That's the example they're setting. The vehicles are lined up outside in the driveway, Mr. Speaker, with a big seal, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Northeast and St. Andrew Southeast and St. Mark and St. George Northwest. Where are they? It is this administration, contrary to a lot of popular belief of partisanship, that has pioneered and insisted that members of Parliament, regardless of whether you're in opposition or the government side, should be provided with resources to do the work that people have elected you to. Come and do the people work.
Brothers and sisters, talking about kettle telling pot bottom black. Well, that is a perfect example, brothers and sisters. We not doing our jobs.
About coming to Parliament and the money they paying us as if it's his damn money. The man is rude. And I go far to say the little boy is rude. Out of place. He cannot talk to people like Sister Emlyn Pierre, Sister Clarice Modeste, Brother Dwight, Sister Amanda, and your great parliamentary representative about service. He cannot talk to us about service. When the Prime Minister attempted, as Brother Dab said a while ago, to scold his ministers for not working. I think it's Brother Clarice, Sister Clarice, you're the one that said that, right? I wonder, well, how he could talk to his minister when he is the chief culprit. This is a man that even attempted to scold members of the opposition for not being in Parliament when they broke the fundamental rule for members to be here, and the political leader will go into depth in that particular issue. They were the ones responsible, because I have been in the Parliament for 40 odd years and I have hardly missed a session of Parliament. But if there is a fundamental principle of the breach of rules of the House, we ought not to give support to that. We have to show our people that we have to stand for what is right. And no man who knows nothing about the people, no man who has not done anything to justify the job that he has, no man that hasn't shown a good deed for the people of this country can come and tell patriots like ourselves about coming to Parliament and the money they paying us as if it's his damn money. The man is rude. And I go far to say the little boy is rude. Out of place. He cannot talk to people like Sister Emlyn Pierre, Sister Clarice Modeste, Brother Dwight, Sister Amanda, and your great parliamentary representative about service. He cannot talk to us about service because he has no service to show. He is servicing himself by traveling at your expense. My friends, when we were in government, very few people in government travel on delegation. I have never traveled with 5 persons and more in a delegation in anywhere paid by the people of this country. I refuse to do this because I know what the cost is. And I know how much we need the money in this country. But they travel with 7 and 8 persons, and all of them in first class. During the time of Prime Minister Blaise, 1 person traveled in first class. In my time in government, 1 person traveled in first class. Because we understood the significance of the savings for the people of this country. But all of them packing the first class and spending your money as if it's their money, sisters and brothers. But friends, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. The country belongs to you. And I want to say to you, as long as I have the breath of life in me, I will stand with the people of this country to do what is right and to speak out against the injustices that is taking place in this country.
Brothers and sisters, I had the opportunity to look at a few clips from the sitting of the last parliament. And I say to you, if I went to that sitting, I would have walked out. Because some of the things that happened on Tuesday is a clear indication of the very reason we did not attend, and maybe even worse. So when I tell you that members of the House can stay outside of the chamber and decide what happens inside the chamber, when I tell you that the Prime Minister can sit in his office and communicate with the Speaker and decide who speaks after, I say to you, don't take this lightly. We are in a serious situation. Brothers and sisters, only on Tuesday, I don't know if you observed what happened in the House of Parliament. You would recall 1 week before the Parliament met, and it was decided that on Tuesday last, we were going to have a continuation of the sitting of Parliament. Meaning that the last item that we addressed, that the Speaker was going to move to the next item and continue the meeting. This is what happened. The Speaker announced item number 14, which was supposed to be bills. And he only did that because 1 to 13 would have already been dealt with at that point. As if to think that everyone is stupid, the Prime Minister stands up and says to the Speaker, who's supposed to be I'll say what you just said. Who's supposed to be in charge of the House? The Prime Minister stands up and says to the Speaker that you would have missed number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12 come down the road. And he says to the Speaker, we can check the minutes just to verify. When the Speaker said to him, do you recall that we already dealt with ministerial statements previously? Brothers and sisters, I was there. Members of the team were there. And I'm sure many of you listened. That ministerial statements were called twice and no one on the government side stood up. But somehow the Prime Minister appears to be the one controlling the agenda in the Parliament. And so he gets the Speaker to decide to amend the order paper and to go back to give him an opportunity to address the issue that he has not addressed from since August of this year. Brothers and sisters, I say to you tonight, we are not going to accept this. It is unacceptable. It is disrespectful. And I say to you, it's a contradiction of the very democracy that we stand for in this country. So I want to deal with, very quickly, a few of the comments made by the Prime Minister during his presentation. Brothers and sisters, could you imagine that the Prime Minister, in his own word, referred to the wanton disregard and neglect for the job that we were elected to do? I was like, really? Is this man for real? Because I say to you tonight, if there's anybody that has neglected their job since July 2022, it would be the Prime Minister of this country. Brothers and sisters, we are all aware of the published analysis of the Prime Minister's performance since then. It shows us that he has taken 51 overseas trips since he was elected as Prime Minister. Nothing to show for those trips. Brothers and sisters, it tells us that the Prime Minister would have spent over 480 days overseas. Brothers and sisters, about 1/3 of the time that he has been elected as Prime Minister of this country. But what is worse, brothers and sisters, this kind of reckless behavior would have cost the country over $6 million since he has been elected as Prime Minister. And I say to you, $6 million would have done so much for the people of St. John's, for the people of Grand Roy, those who have housing needs, those with medical needs, children who have to go to school. $6 million would have made a significant dent, not just in St. John's, but I say in the entire western corridor of this country. But people don't care. They don't care one bit about these people who they represent. Brothers and sisters, talking about kettle telling pot bottom black. Well, that is a perfect example, brothers and sisters. We not doing our jobs. I say tonight, had it not been for this team doing their job today we would have had a law that would have reduced the age for civil legal responsibility in this country as low as 12 years old. It is because we are doing our job. This bill cannot even come back to the parliament yet. And tonight we say it will never come back in its current form. Brothers and sisters, talking about who not doing their job, the analysis shows that the worst performing ministries in this country are headed by the Prime Minister of this country. What a shame, because you are supposed to be leading by example. What a shame. You know, we see the mess going on all around the country, and you know they take everything for granted. So the Prime Minister speaks as if what is happening is the cost of development, and we are supposed to just accept it. I say tonight we cannot accept this, because I say to you there is a cost of development, but when that cost goes recklessly high, you cannot accept it. So some of the work that is happening now, brothers and sisters, I say to you, we don't need months after the pipes are laid to have the road resurfaced. And then you give us all kind of excuses why this is happening. But let me show you the incompetence. Let me show you who is not doing their job. Because you know, after the budget, the Prime Minister said that they are going to build the capacity of the Ministry of Works. They're going to hire the necessary resources. And guess what? After the budget, they told us that they were training people to do the job. Brothers and sisters, I must close. But I say to you tonight, only a few days ago, listen to the report. Well, what is happening? Don't blame us too much because we don't have the capacity in the ministry of works. I say to those who lead, if you don't have the capacity and the competence, give the job to a team that is able to get it done. Give the job to the new national party so that we can bring back the kind of development that has been happening in this country.
Hi everyone, thanks for checking out the Bub Report's social media pages. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch our weekly live show, follow our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can catch repeat episodes on Wednesdays at 4 and 5 p.m. respectively on CRFM Radio and GBN TV in Grenada. We are also viewed on Sundays at 8 p.m. on WPG 10 throughout the Caribbean. Thanks for watching.